Hello. Billcont allows you to track your expenses. All expenses you have can be entered and saved for your future accounting outside of the Billcont. To create an expense, first, you need to go to the Expenses page. Please click on the Expenses menu item on the left. If you don't see the Expenses menu item, it means that your subscription plan does not include expenses functionality. After that, please click on the Add Expense button on the top. On the form you can see two sections, left and right. The left section contains a common information of you expense. Right section contains the expense lines. Please fill in the left section first and click Create to be able to enter the expense lines. The name field should briefly describe your expense. For example, lunch with the client. The expense date is when your expense has occurred. Next, you can pick a client if the expense was related to a specific client. This field is not required. Once you picked a client, two additional fields become available to you. You can associate this expense with any existing project and task if you want. After that, you can enter a vendor that provided you with a service or product within this expense. Also, you can indicate a location. Next, you can pick a currency of the expense. If you've picked a client, an expense currency is different from the client's currency. You will need to enter the exchange rate. If you do not pick a client, and your currency is different from your organization currency, you will need to enter the exchange rate as well. If you want to mark this expense as reimbursable and include it in your invoice to the client, you can check the reimbursable flag. Once it is checked, you need to pick a tax group. Tax group represents a set of taxes that will be applied to your expense items when an invoice is generated. After that, you can add a description, if needed. After all the necessary information is populated, you can check it again, and click on the Create button. Now the expense is created and you can start adding lines in the right section. Click on the Add Expense Line button on the top. First you need to pick a line type. It can be either item or tax. If your expense is reimbursable, only item lines will be included in an invoice to the client. Taxes will be applied based on the tax group selected in the left section. If you need to include expense taxes in the invoice, you need to enter them with the item line type. After the line type, you need to choose a unit. Enter quantity and price. You can enter a description if needed as well. Next, you can click on the green check sign on the right to save the changes. Now we have entered the item line. Let's enter a tax line. For tax lines, unit and quantity fields are not available. If later you need to change a line, just click on the Update icon on the right. The same if you need to delete a line. Just click on the Delete icon and confirm. Once expense is entered, just close the form. You will see your expense on the Expenses page. Thank you for watching. Looking forward to learning more about the Billcont functionality? Check out our how-to videos.